I'm 40 and I wasted my life. I've got nothing to show for it. No house, no savings, no career that I'm proud of. I'm pouring everything that I have into this channel because I've got nothing else. And if you're in your 20s or even your early 30s and you think you've got time, I'm telling you right now, you don't. I
That's
wish
deep.
I had someone in my life when I was younger, someone who actually cared enough about me and was smart enough to show me how life really worked, how women really operated, and what I actually needed to focus on. I didn't have that. I was getting all of my ideas about love and success and women from movies and idiots my own age who didn't know anything at all.
Yeah.
So there was no sense of urgency, no perspective, just vibes and dumb plans.
One thing I want to say is I'm so grateful for YouTube University, man. When it came down to women, it was YouTube University for me. When it came down to learning about finances and business and an entrepreneur mindset and having the right habits and systems, it was YouTube and it was audiobooks. So thank God for this metal rectangular device called our cell phone, because honestly, if it wasn't for that being created, I probably would have been in a very regretful spot myself, and I'm still in my 20s. But shout out to this guy for being vulnerable, honestly.
And this fantasy that everything would somehow work itself out, and it didn't.
Yeah,
In my
yeah, I feel that.
20s, I thought I was, super deep and cool, and because I had tattoos and I knew some obscure bands and you know played drums, and I thought being different was a personality.
Mm.
I wasn't building
Hmm.
anything real. I was I was just chasing sex and novelty, hooking up with women because I was
Mm.
addicted to the high, not the connection, just the rush. I spent more time crushing on church girls who didn't like me and hanging out at coffee shops and smoking cigarettes.
Yo, this is actually one of the first times we're actually bringing up like dating on this channel, right? But obviously, my man right here said he has nothing to show for it, at least from him being in his 20s. And I feel exactly what he's explaining because I've had these tough conversations with myself. Like, do I want to be out here in these streets in the club getting laid? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like a dream, to be honest. But I had to ask myself, at what cost? You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that I don't struggle in certain areas, but it's just like, at what cost? Like, if a woman isn't helping me grow, she's helping me die. Like, bottom line, she's helping my dreams die. All right. She's wasting my time. And I have a responsibility to be a provider for my future family, for my parents when they get older, and to be a role model out here to anyone who chooses to look at me as a role model. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a duty, a responsibility to be successful. And I do want to reference a book. I'm not even it's not even I'm no sponsors at all. This is why I keep it in the background. But it's called The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, right? This book I've read like 5 times, man. It always puts chills on me because there's different parts of my life, and I'm pretty sure your life too, where you were able to look back at the path, that you took, and you're like, man, if I would have made a better decision, where would I have been by now? And now it keeps reminding you, like, okay, when I see another opportunity, which is every single day, I got to take advantage of it. Because if not, I'm just going to end up in a regretful way and then just be somebody old and grumpy. And you don't have to be 70, 80 years old to be old and grumpy. There's old and grumpy 20-year-olds. I mean, you just read some of my comment sections sometimes. There are people who literally hate on me saying progressive stuff about what we could do. Man, it's so crazy to me. I see people every day in their 30s talking negatively. Oh, man, you know, this person's greedy and this person wants to take from me. I deserve to get paid more. And it's just like, yo, what are you doing to change your life about it? You going out on the weekends, you getting drunk, man. You know what I'm saying? You worried about women. You out there playing the game all the time. Nah. You watching sports all the time. Nah, you don't care about your future that much. Otherwise, you would pay attention to it when you have the free time. Quote unquote, time ain't free, but when you have the available time after your 9 to 5, which is your 5 to 9.
uh, Drinking lattes and going to hardcore shows. I did more of that than I did doing anything that would help me long term. I mean, at 23, I was playing ding dong ditch with my friends.
That's crazy, bro.
Like I was 13 again, thinking it was hilarious, which it was. But fun times. But I wasted so many hours just trying to get validation from people who didn't care if I lived or died. At the end of the day, I thought my life was meaningful because it looked cool in photos, looked cool on MySpace.
Vanity metrics.
But all I was doing was burning through the most valuable years of my life. The years where I had the most energy, the most flexibility, and the most time to build something meaningful.
That's 100% facts, man. I be telling my loved ones all the time and my friends, I'm like, bro, we're in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? I'm 27. Whew. A couple of years ago, I would always like think of myself 5 years older. And I'd be like, man, I haven't made it yet, man. You know what I'm saying? Every year that my birthday had passed, and I had to get over this, I was like, I haven't made it yet, man. Like, something ain't right. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing more. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's okay to have fun every once in a while, but why do I feel like I'm stuck? Because I wasn't putting in the work and the focus, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're not feeling like this every single day, I question what your focus is on, right? What are you consuming? I just had a realization with myself earlier today when I'm driving home from work, right before I shot this show. I'm like, man, I need to start listening to self-help books again because it's putting me in that mode of not getting comfortable. I'm in my 20s with no kids. I got debt, okay? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna pay that shit off. I'm so motivated to get it out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm so motivated to invest back into myself. And I believe everybody should, but everybody's focus isn't on that. A lot of people are distracted. TV, football, basketball, the Super Bowl, Valentine's Day coming up. Man, as far as I know, everybody I love every day. Not on a specific day. I'ma still, you know what I'm saying, treat my girl out and everything. But listen, I'm still working on Valentine's Day. You feel me? Like, I can't, there's just something in me that will refuse to be content. And I think you have to get to a point where you remember your struggles in life, your financial struggles in life, your mental, your spiritual, even your physical struggles in life. And you have to remember where you came from. A lot of people get comfortable once they start making a little bit of money.
Nobody told me I was wasting it. Nobody. And when the world sees you drifting, it doesn't intervene. It just keeps feeding you distraction after distraction, lie after lie, while profiting off of your blindness and ignorance.
I feel that.
And then fast forward into my late 20s, then I got into a relationship that wrecked my life. She got pregnant and everything changed.
The wrong woman, bro.
And I love my son. I would never undo that. But that relationship, it was a disaster. I did not know how to choose wisely at all. I confused chaos and passion and intensity with love because no one ever taught me the difference.
Yo. How many times as a man have we seen TV shows that give the narrative of the guy dealing with a woman that really doesn't want him and acts a crazy type of way, chaotic, toxic type of way, and the guy always tries to find a solution? I always used to tell my friends like this in college because I used to be obsessed with like dating coaches and the dating aspect and how to get women and how to self-improve as a man. And I always used to say, bro, like we were pre-programmed as kids to do our best. So, you know what I'm saying? To make it work with women. Bro, the right women are going to fit into your life easier than a puzzle piece. You understand me? Like not hard to get the women that already want you. The women that want you are the easiest ones to get along with in a relationship because they already have a desire for you. If a woman is making your life more stressful, I advocate that you get rid of her. Because as a man, we deal with stress differently. You see what I'm saying? We don't really like to talk about our problems because it can, make us feel overwhelmed because we're not working on a solution. We were programmed to be logical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my ladies out there. I ain't hating on y'all. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? 55% of my audience is women. Shout out to my women, But as a man, I got to come from the heart on this one. Because what he's explaining is he went through turmoil. It sounds like before he even had a child. But he might have tried to been the mechanic in his relationship. And he's over here putting work in to make something work that ended up not working. And now he has nothing to show for it. Imagine if he would have put that energy, that drive into building his finances and being with the right woman. He would have been that much more powerful, that much better off. Because the right woman in your life can most definitely, hands down, help a man get from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, but it can also be a hideous thing if you got the wrong one, man. I'm good. This is exactly why I be vetting women so hard when I used to, go on dates and whatnot, because I understood my value at that point. I'm like, I'm gonna be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to be away for extensive amount of time to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? So if you turn toxic just because I haven't talked to you every night, you ain't the one, baby. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna work, man. I gotta lay down the rules, man.
I thought it was normal for things to be dramatic and unpredictable. I thought that meant we were meant to be or something. I don't
What I
know.
tell you?
But instead, I don't know what was going on, but instead I ended up in family court fighting for time with my own son, treated like an intruder and a criminal for wanting to be a father.
It's crazy.
And then in my 30s, my 30s weren't the best years of my life. You hear that a lot. Your 30s will be the best years of your life. 30s
if
and
you
40s.
take the right steps.
30s were a nightmare. I was broke. I was depressed. I was isolated, missing my son constantly, and dealing with games and lies and schemes my ex would pull to destroy the bond between me and my son. I wasn't just dealing with grief. I was dealing with a system that didn't care if I disappeared. And yeah, a few times I, in the midst of all that, tried to date again. I finally started to see what I'd been blind to in my 20s. I was no longer that 27-year-old stuck in a 500 days of summer mindset, falling for manic pixie dream girls, just because they liked the shins too. Now I saw the red flags clearly. Girls with baby rabies, daddy issues, manipulation, all of it. I could spot it instantly.
Wisdom.
I was like a bloodhound for that kind of thing. It's easy to detect now.
This is why I love watching videos like this, man, because now it brings me more alertness. You know what I'm saying? This is why we make videos like this. Man, subscribe if you like the content. I need to have a little button pop up and be like, ding, just to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That'd be so tough. Anyways, he's speaking facts right now, man. Because, again, you don't have to make your own mistakes in order for you to learn. You know what I'm saying?
That's the part that stings the most. Now I'm 40. I hate my job. But it's not just that. I'm disillusioned by the world. Once you see how everything really works, how broken it all is, you cannot unsee it. Everything feels fake. The economy is a scam.
Like
Inflation is gutting families. People are more isolated than ever before. No one's honest. No one's fulfilled. And there's a deep apathy baked into everything now.
We getting deep.
That's why I'm here.
Getting
This
deep.
isn't a content hobby for me. This is me refusing to stay silent. This is me using what I have left to
Mm,
build something real because the clock is
mm,
ticking.
mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
And also, you know, if I die before I can tell my son any of this, before he can know, I mean, he's almost 11, but
His dad
I
needs
want my
videos.
son to know that his dad didn't just give up, that I fought very hard and went through a lot, and that I bled in silence. That
Facts.
I fought to stay in his life
Respect.
tooth and nail. I fought to become something that he could be proud of. And I fought against a system that was way bigger than myself, that tried to break me. And so this channel, Dad Mode and Dark Mode, is part of that fight. It's my record. It's my time capsule, my legacy. It's my proof that I didn't just drift off into silence.
I love that. It's so crazy how great minds think alike, man. Like, I don't have no kid or anything like that, but I've definitely thought about the legacy that I leave behind. You know, being content is not something that's in my bones. And that's not to say that I have a thought and I don't have thoughts of like chilling out some days. But for the most part, I'm going to put in that work. I'm going to value my time because it's guys like this that I respect for being honest, because so many guys will try to flaunt and act like somebody they're not, and you don't even know where they came from. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at people and been like, damn, man, I'm such in a bad situation, bro. You know, not that I wish I was them, but man, I wish that I had more resources. And it wasn't until people started being openly honest, especially my parents. Shout out to my parents who opened up and told me times that they struggled financially when they were in their 20s together. And I'm like, man, for real? Y'all were struggling to pay bills too? Y'all had to hustle too? That gives me motivation. And it should give you motivation too. And no matter where you're at in life, it's never too late to get right. I made a video a couple days ago, and it was this guy walking around asking people at the mall, and I think it was a college campus as well, how much is in your savings account? And a lot of you all engaged with that content. And then there were some people who were like, bro, you're asking kids how much is in their savings account? Since when did age equate to a specific mindset? You can learn something and be mentally more wise than a person that's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years older than you. You know why? Exposure and acceptance. Because people ignore wisdom all the time. People get distracted all the time. But it's those that love to learn that become wise. And they don't have to have you're still going to have your mistakes, but they don't have to have their own mistakes like this guy, respectfully, and go this far before learning the lesson. He said it himself. He wished he had the resources that is out here now. So if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, I don't care what age you're in, you're able to change your trajectory if you accept the truth. You cannot rely on one stream of income. You cannot be content. You got to be wise about your desires in life because they affect your thoughts, and your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions, and your actions become your habits, and your habits become your character. Shout out to this guy, Dad in Dark Mode. I'm going to leave the link in the description, his link to this video in the description down below. Subscribe if you like the content. Let's get it.